Good morning. Good morning.
Tolstoy once said, "History is amazing, if only it were accurate." Anybody remember the story of Paul Revere? What did he do?
He warned the British from coming.
No, he really did not. He wrote all of 19 miles. But he was commemorated in an 1861 poem because his last name is a lot easier to rhyme than Israel Bissett. You try writing a world-renowned poem using Israel Bissett instead of Paul Revere. That's why we all know Paul Revere. Because in 1861, Wadsworth said, "I want to commemorate this historic event, but it doesn't really fit, so I'm going to tell it how I want to tell it." That's kind of what's happening with Pathways right now. There's a lot of historical inaccuracies that are out there, and I'm here today to try to clear up some of those to be your Israel Bissett instead of your Paul Revere. How many of you have heard of Pathways? All right. How many of you have heard of it actually know what it is? Fantastic. All right. Pathways is our new educational program that Toastmasters is rolling out to all clubs across the entire world. And they started rolling it out about a year ago. So where do you think they started rolling it out first? In the place where you could do the most damage, or in the place where you could test it with the least amount of clubs?
Most damage.
No, that would be in the States. Most clubs here. So they rolled it out. They started out in Asia, where there is a lesser concentration of clubs. They can work out the kinks. By the time you get to the areas of the world that have the largest concentration of clubs, they'll figure out what they're doing, work out all the kinks, and actually have a program available to all Toastmasters that makes sense and works. What is Pathways? Pathways is an educational program that is changing how Toastmasters looks at the Toastmasters journey from inception to as far as you want to take it. Right now, the entire program is based on manuals. How many of you have a manual with you today? I brought the manuals I'm currently working on right now. I have specialty speeches, entertaining speaker, interpretive reading, speaking to inform, another speaking to inform because I really want to inform, storytelling, interpersonal communication, the professional speaker, communicating on video, entertaining speaker, and the competent leader. That's all the manuals I have that I'm working on right now. Plus, David has my competent communicator that he's filling out for me. $6 a pop, right?
Yep.
$7 a pop. Each one of these. I need a $1,000 reserve just for my Toastmaster manuals. Now, how does Toastmasters figure out a way to reduce costs? What if we don't buy manuals, but we can get everything online? So instead of having to, I forgot my manual, but I brought my phone. What if you could just pull up your phone and have your manual with you at all times, no matter what club you went to? Would that help your journey be able to figure out what you're supposed to do every day if you always had that reference with you?
Yes.
Yes! Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. It made it easier. The second thing that this really accomplishes, us older folk like paper things. Them younger folk like electronic things. If we're going to talk to the next generation and hope to grow Toastmasters from generation to generation, we have to talk to the next generation that's coming in order to communicate with them in the way that they want to be communicated with. That is the electronic version. Not only do we not need to print manuals in every language under the sun, but now we can just put it online, save all that money, and give the resource to everybody no matter where they want to go. Fantastic stuff, right? The other big thing this does, I just read off a cacophony of titles that just make your head spin. Why do I have so many manuals? It's because I can't figure out exactly where I want my Toastmasters journey to take me. I have an end result, but I don't know the path that I want to get there. So what if Toastmasters created paths for us? And called it, I don't know, Pathways. Oh, look at that. They actually thought of that, didn't they? Instead of having just, we do the competent communicator and the competent leader in unison but separately, And then once we finish the Competent Communicator, we go and pick these other manuals to fill out, to complete, and hope that that accomplishes what we're trying to do. What if Pathways, instead of doing that, was to give us 10 distinct paths that we can choose from, give us an online tool to do an assessment to help us decide which of those paths fit us best, and then gave us a litany of projects within each path to be able to accomplish. It almost sounds like you're going through some kind of fantasy land. But no, it's real. It's called Pathways. Here are the 10 paths that are out there. There's motivational strategies, presentation mastery, leadership development, innovative planning, visionary communication, strategic relationships, dynamic leadership, as opposed to non-dynamic leadership, persuasive influence, effective coaching, and team collaboration. Within each one of those, there are 5 different levels. Level 1, mastering fundamentals. Level 2, learning your style. Level 3, increasing knowledge. Level 4, building skills. And level 5, demonstrating expertise. As you go through each path, whatever path it is that you want to go through, you're going to go through 5 different levels within each one of those paths. Now, can you do more than one path at a time? Yes. Yes, you can. You don't need to, but you can. It depends what you want to get out of Toastmasters. You can go forward and try to become an effective leader and also a great facilitator. There are paths to help you do that. And it's going to guide you throughout your journey. Now, there's one more thing that Pathways does that I think is just absolutely phenomenal. Does anybody have to go through their career and get recertification credits for any sort of test or any sort of learning that you've done throughout your career? Yes. SHRM has it. Financial planners has it. Accountants have to do it. Guess what? Pathways is being accredited so that it's going to count as a continuing education credits for ATD, for SHRM, for financial planners, and for accountants.
That's awesome. Neat.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So let me wrap this up and say, we're going to be hearing a lot more about Pathways in the coming months. A lot of it from me because I am a Pathways ambassador. But start thinking of this. Where do you want your Toastmasters journey to take you? Because Pathways is going to give you the path to get wherever it is that you want to go.